Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, this video in English. So this bracelet is quite unique. I hope you guys like it. So you're gonna need 16 strings, 8 colors, 2 of each color, okay? But since I'm going to start my bracelet with the loop, I actually just cut 8 strings, really long, 1 of each color, and just fold them in half and do my loop. I do have a tutorial on how to make this loop, so please check that out. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the bracelet. So I know in the Spanish version, I just went ahead and started with the knots, with the steps. But this time I'm obsessed with starting this bracelet with the triangle. See, I got inspired by this YouTuber that she has really good videos and very useful, Masha Knots. You guys probably already know her, so I was inspired by her to start my bracelet like that. Okay, so it just looks more, I guess, professional or more neat. So that's what we're gonna do. So I have my 2 sets, so all we're gonna do is you have to pick which color you want to start with. So I think I'm gonna start with the blue, and you're gonna make a forward knot with all these strings together. So just like that. Okay, and then we just put it aside. So now we're gonna pick our next color. I kind of want to do like a darker color and then light, dark, light. So I'm gonna do the yellow, a forward knot with all the strings together. And we put it aside. So you're gonna do that with each string until you're left with 1, okay? So okay, this is what you're supposed to have, and this is what I mean once you have 1 string left, just like that. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other strings and making sure that we're grabbing the same order of strings. So it's like blue, yellow, purple, pink, white, green, orange, and a darker red. And this time, instead of forward knots, we're gonna do backward knots. So let's look for the blue. Now, if you guys don't know how to make a forward knot or a backward knot, or all the basic knots, I do have a few videos on how to make the basic knots along with the simple beginner's bracelet. Okay, so a backward knot with the blue. Next is yellow. Make sure to make the backward knot with all the strings together except the blue, because we put it aside. Then after yellow is purple and then pink. So you just do that again until you are left with 1 string. Okay, so here we have our 2 sets. So let me just push this more together, because now we're gonna start with the diamond. So we're gonna grab the 2 strings that are in the middle, which are the blue. Make sure it's the same color, and we're just gonna tie them together. It doesn't matter if it's a forward or a backward knot, it's still gonna be the same color knot. I always start with a forward knot. And make sure you're tying them really tight so that way they're together, just like that. Okay, so now we grab the left string and we're gonna do backward knots to all these strings, including the last one. Okay, make sure you're grabbing them in order, so like yellow, purple, pink, white, green, orange, and the dark red. So it's backward knots to all the strings. Okay, see, this is what we have. So now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side with the other blue, but this time we're gonna do forward knots, and make sure you're grabbing the strings in order. So it's forward knots to all the strings, including the last one. Okay, and this is what we have. See, this is how it looks. It kind of twisted right here, but I don't mind it at all. Just like that. So now I'm gonna continue because we're making the diamond now. So we're gonna grab the two strings in the middle and we're gonna tie them together. I always use a forward knot. And then we grab the left string and we're gonna do backward knots to all the strings except these two. Okay, so it's gonna be 3, 4, 5 backward knots. Okay, and then with the same string we're gonna do a backward forward knot, another basic knot. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other side but with forward knots. So we're gonna do 5 forward knots, and then with the same string a forward backward knot. So let's start with the forward knots, and then a forward backward knot, just like that. So we're gonna grab the strings in the middle again, make sure it's the same color. Oh, see, it's not the pink one, it's actually the purple one. And we're gonna tie them together. Then we grab the left string and we're gonna do backward knots. So we're gonna do 3 backward knots. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then with the same string to the next one, we're gonna do a backward forward knot. Backward forward knot. So we grab the other purple string and the same thing, but this time with forward knots. So we're gonna do 3 forward knots. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And then with the same string to the next one, we're gonna do a forward backward knot. Forward backward knot. Just like that. Okay. Then again, we grab the strings in the middle. We're almost done doing the first half of the diamond. So this time they're the pink ones and we're gonna tie them together with either a forward or backward knot. Then we grab the left one and we're gonna do one backward knot, and then with the same string a backward forward knot, backward forward knot. So we grab the other one and we're gonna do one forward knot and then a forward backward knot. So there's the forward and then a forward backward. Now this is the middle of the diamond. So the white string, they're the new in the middle, and we're gonna tie them together. Just like that. So now we're gonna be grabbing all the forward backward knots and the backward forward knots, so all the mixed knots. So here are the two strings in the middle. We're gonna grab from the left side the next string, which is the pink, and we do a forward knot. Then we grab the other pink and we do a backward knot. Just like that. And then they're in the middle, so we tie them together. Just like that. And see, here's the little diamond right here. So now we grab the next string and make sure it's the backward forward knot. So for example, here is the pink, the strings that we just used. We skip two because there's no knot, but here we have the purple to finish the next row or the next diamond. So we do 3 forward knots. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So then we grab the other purple and 3 backward knots. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Now they're in the middle, so we tie them together. So the next string is going to be yellow, because on the top of the purple there's the yellow. That's an easier way to find the next string. And we're just going to do forward knots to all these strings up until the middle, which is 5 forward knots. Okay, so now the other yellow string, and we're gonna do 5 backward knots. And the 2 are in the middle, so we tie them together. Okay, so now last set and the diamond is done, which is, this time it's not a string that we use to do the forward backward knot or the backward forward knot, but it's the one that we started with. So now we'll just do 7 forward knots. Okay. Okay, so now we grab the other blue string, and again 7, but this time backward knots. And then the 2 are in the middle, so we tie them together. Just like that, and we're done with the diamond part. So now we're gonna grab the first 3 strings. We're not gonna use the rest of them just yet. We're just gonna focus on these 3. So now we're gonna do a mini candy stripe. Okay, if you guys don't know what a candy stripe is, I do have a video on what it is with how to do the forward knot. So we grab the first string from the 3, and we're just gonna do forward knots. So 2 forward knots and 1 and a 2. Okay, so now we grab the first string again and 2 forward knots and a 2, and then the next one, green, 1 and a 2. See? So you keep doing this until you repeat the 3 colors 4 times. You can do less, you can do more, but if you do more, you'll finish the bracelet faster, and there's not gonna be a lot of the diamonds or the half diamonds. So it's up to you. With the Spanish version that I did 4, and I thought that was perfect. So I'm gonna do 4 for this one too. So just repeat the 3 colors 4 times with just doing a mini candy stripe. Okay, so I changed my mind. I know I said I was gonna do it 4 times, but I want to see how it comes out with just repeating it 3 times, just to see how a small difference can make. Unfortunately, I don't have the other bracelet I did in the video in Spanish, but you can see the picture. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the next 3 strings, and then we're gonna put the rest on the side, and we're just gonna do the same thing. Okay, so a mini candy stripe, grabbing the first string, 2 forward knots, the next string, 2 forward knots, the last string, 2 forward knots, and then you repeat the colors 3 times. So how do you know? You count the colors. So right here, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Okay, you can do 4, how I was gonna do originally, or you can do 3, you can do more, you can do less. So let's do the second mini candy stripe. Okay, here's my second mini candy stripe. So now we're gonna do the same. We're gonna ignore these 2 for now, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, but instead of doing forward knots, we're gonna do backward knots. So the strings, first 3 strings, and we're gonna do a mini candy stripe with backward knots, repeating the colors 3 times. Okay, So here's my mini candy stripe. Repeated the colors 3 times. So now we're gonna do the same thing with the next 3 strings. Make sure they're the same colors as the other side. And we're gonna do backward knots, 2 backward knots, doing the candy stripe, okay? Okay, so this is what we have. So now we only have the strings in the middle that we haven't used. And since we've used 3 on each and we repeated the colors 3 times, this time we only have 2. And we're gonna be making mini chevrons. Again, I do have a video on how to make a chevron, but this time this one's just gonna be like a chevron with 4 strings. And instead of repeating it only 3 times, we're going to repeat it 4 times instead of 3, since we only have 2 strings to work with. Okay, so on the left string, the yellow one, we're going to do a forward knot. Then we grab the other yellow string and we're going to do a backward knot. So the strings are in the middle, so we tie them together. And now we do the same thing with the blue strings. So 1 forward knot, and then the other one a backward knot. And the 2 blue ones end up together, so we tie them together. And here we have some really small mini chevrons. So again, I'm going to repeat the 2 colors 4 times. So we're supposed to have like 8 rows of chevrons. So instead of 3 right here, we're gonna have to have 4 yellow chevrons and 4 blue chevrons. So let's do that. Okay, so this is what we have, and this is exactly what we wanted to do. So the strings in the middle, or the chevron, has to be longer than the ones on the side. Maybe it's just a bit too long, but it's fine. It's not going to affect the bracelet at all. Okay, so now we have 2. They're all separated, so now we have to tie them together with a chevron. This time, not a mini chevron, it's going to be a normal size chevron. So now we're going to grab the first string and we're going to do forward knots to all the strings, to all the half of the strings. Okay, make sure you go in order, so it's like orange, green, white, pink, purple, yellow, and blue. So make sure you're going in order. See, so now they're all together. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but with backward knots, and again going in order. So backward knots with the first string, make sure it's the same color. It should be the same color as the other side. Now both strings are in the middle, so we tie them together. See how nice that looks? So now we're gonna just work on the left side, okay? And we're gonna do the half diamonds. So we're gonna grab the first string. Let me put this more up like this. We're gonna grab the first string and we're gonna do 5 forward knots. Okay, so 5 forward knots. Then with the same string to the next one, we're gonna do a forward backward knot. just like that. So now we're gonna grab the first string and we're gonna do 3 forward knots. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Then with the same string to the next one, we're going to do a forward backward knot. Now we grab the first string again and we're going to do 1 forward knot and then a forward backward. So now with the same string, we're gonna do a backward knot. Just like that. So now we're gonna grab the green one, which is the next forward backward knot, or the 4th string if it's easier for you, and we're gonna do 3 backward knots, because now we're doing the other half of the half diamond. So there's 2 and 3. So now we're gonna grab the orange, because that's the next string, and we're gonna do backward knots to all these strings, which is 5 backward knots. Now we grab the one in the middle and we do backward knots to all these strings. So this is the last step for now, so that we can do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so here we have the half diamond. Now it's gonna go like this. All you're gonna do is just with your fingers push your bracelet or the knots around so that way it can go straight. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna grab the first string, which is the orange, and we're gonna do 5 backward knots, and then we're gonna do a backward forward knot, and then a backward forward knot, just like that. So now we're gonna grab the first string again and we're gonna do 3 backward knots and then a backward forward knot. So 1, 2, and 3, and a backward forward knot, backward forward. So we grab the first string again and we do a backward knot and then a backward forward knot, and then still with the same string, a forward knot, because now we're gonna start making our forward knots to finish our half diamonds. So we're gonna grab the green string and we're gonna do 3 forward knots. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Then we grab our orange string, which is our 6th string, and we're gonna do 5 forward knots. And lastly, the next string, which is the middle one, and we're gonna do forward knots to all these strings. Okay. Okay, so here we have it. So now it's a candy stripe turn, but this time it's gonna be a bit different because now we have like an upside down chevron. So still we're gonna grab the 3 strings, the first 3 strings. We're gonna ignore these, but instead of grabbing the first one, we're gonna grab the 3rd one this time. Okay, let me move my camera just like that. So now we're gonna grab the 3rd one, and again we're gonna repeat the colors 3 times, just the same as at the top. So 3rd string, and this time 2 backward knots, 1 and 2, and now again the 3rd string and 2 backward knots. You repeat this 3 times. Okay, so now we do the same thing with the next 3 strings, and we're gonna do with the 3rd string 1, 2, 3, 2 backward knots, and we're gonna repeat each color 3 times. Okay, this is what you're supposed to have. So we're gonna ignore the next 4 strings, and we're gonna do the 3 strings here on the side. We're gonna grab the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna do forward knots. So that's the only difference from the top and this part. So it's just forward knots, but still you repeat the colors 3 times. Okay, that's done. So now the other 3 strings, we're gonna start with the purple one, and again 2 forward knots, and you repeat the colors 3 times. Okay, so we have the candy stripes on the sides, and now we're gonna do the middle one. So right here at the top we did like a mini chevron. We're gonna do the same thing at the bottom, but it's gonna be like an upside down mini chevron. So which means we're gonna start from the middle with the blue ones, and we're gonna tie them together. Then we're gonna grab the left one, and we're gonna do a backward knot. Then we grab the other blue one, and we're gonna do a forward knot. Just like that. So now we're gonna grab the middle ones, which are the yellow, and we're gonna do the same thing. So the left string, and we're gonna do a backward knot, and then the other string, and we're gonna do a forward knot, just like that. So starting to form the upside down chevron. So again, the same as at the top right here. Instead of repeating it 3 times, since we're only working with 2 color strings, we're gonna repeat it 4 times. Okay, so as long as we have 4 blue chevrons and 4 yellow, then you're good to go. Okay, and here we have it. So after this, you just repeat the same steps. Okay, so now what are the first steps? Because I started with making all these extra knots right here, so that way it would be a nice triangle. And then I did the diamond. All you have to do is the diamond. So now they're all loose. Once you do the diamond, they're gonna be together just like this. Okay, so it should be the same order of strings from when we started. Okay, so you just start from the middle and going this way. So you just repeat the steps. Okay, so you can just rewind this video to where I started making the diamond right here. So I'm gonna continue this bracelet so that way you guys can appreciate the design, and also we'll see how we end this bracelet, because right now it's a mystery to me of how, if the bracelet's gonna end like this with the half diamonds, or like the diamond, like the full diamond. So it's up to how I finish the bracelet, and that way I can do the necessary knots in order to make it look neat, just like right here at the beginning. Okay, so I'm gonna continue. Okay, so here's the end of my bracelet, and it ends with a diamond, which works perfectly. So how we're gonna end this? On the left side, we're gonna grab the second string and we're gonna do a backward knot, just like that. Then put them together. Then we grab the next string and we do a backward knot to the two strings together, just like that, and then put them together. Then the next one and a backward knot. So you do that with each string. See how nice it looks right here? So now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna grab the second string, but this time we're gonna do a forward knot. So it's a forward knot. Then we put them together. Then we grab the next one, and with the two strings together, we're gonna do a forward knot. And now together. And then the next string, and we just do that till the last string. See? We end this bracelet with a triangle. So now all you're gonna do is do the part where you get to tie the bracelets. So I like to do a rope braid, but you can also do a normal braid. It's up to you. So I'll finish this bracelet completely. And here is the bracelet. It actually worked out perfectly, repeating the colors only 3 times, because the Spanish video I repeated 4 times and I was only able to do it up to here, and it didn't seem even, you know what I mean? So this, with the endings to be a diamond and then half diamonds and then a full diamond in the middle, it just looks better. So here it is, rope braids, of course 2 of them, so that way one can go through the loop and then you tie it. this is how it looks on the other side. I really like how the darker colors are on the sides and then the pastel colors are in the middle. I just think it's different. So yeah, this is it. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please like this video. I also invite you guys to like my Facebook page. That's where I share my other work, the patterns that I use. This time I didn't use a pattern, so don't expect patterns on my Facebook page. And I also answer your messages the best that I can, because I do receive a whole bunch. And so yeah, if you guys would like to see more videos on how to make these beautiful friendship bracelets, then please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.